Woo. Barely made it back to my chair. Robert Chase.
What's happening? You got fires down there by you?
A lot of them.
We got a fire that's about 7 miles from my house right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got fire insurance?
No. Yeah, I mean, I guess I do. I got plenty of equipment, and I got a water truck of my own.
Yeah. Well, if it burns down, get insurance and move to Arizona.
Right.
Yeah. Leica hunters don't have internet issues because most Leica hunters can't afford internet. They're too busy chasing their dogs and spending gas money all over the place.
Yeah.
And growing their hair out.
And growing their hair out. I didn't have internet issues. I checked my internet, and then we started talking and telling all kinds of secrets and propaganda and all the good stuff about the other hound hunter. Oh, Benny's can't get on because he's in a food truck.
He could still get on in the food truck. Just set his phone
That's
up
what I
and
say.
We could watch him work.
I'll just
then
mute
we'd all
him.
want fry bread.
Well, it might make us all hungry, but I'd feel better watching someone else work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with you, Robert.
I was going to wait and see if Cody got on, but he fired me this week. Lasted about 2.5 hours.
I think he may be in Mexico, last I talked to him.
Nope. He's not very happy because he has to work.
Oh, man.
He's
He
supposed
was in Mexico
he's
when I
supposed to
talked
be in Africa.
Yeah.
That's where he's supposed to be. But he is not in Africa.
No, he was in Mexico getting permits, is what he told me.
Well, he was. Yeah, and I don't think he got to go on that hunt either. I don't know. It's been a busy week. Busy week. You know, we got all kinds of numbers out for jobs. I got a list, takes up my whole whiteboard. Man, we got a job that I bid back in May 7th. So I didn't hear a word from them. And they just reached out and said, qualify your bid. We did, and bam, sent us a contract. So, hey, you talking about the heat or the rain? Because if you're talking about the heat, that's me. Talking about the rain, that's that guy right there.
We got heat too.
Humidity, you got humidity.
Both. We were under a heat advisory for the last week.
Yeah.
But when we say heat advisory, you literally cook like a rotisserie.
I don't like that moisture. I was in Texas in April, and the moisture wasn't.
I'm right now. Thunderstorm outside right now.
It's been windy, and I don't like the wind, but it's been really cool. Like I'm just in my little office here, and I got the windows open.
This whole year for us has been the windiest year I can remember. I don't know why.
Yeah. It hasn't been windy up in North Arizona for a while. I'm talking in the old days, man. March come around. I remember a year it was wind every day for 3 months. And you could look out in the big open vast plains of the cedars and see that yellow dust, and it was all pollen. Looked like it was just a dust or a fire. And then you see that wind come through, and those cedar trees will shake, and just throw off a big old plume of dirty. So, yep. Man, I've been busy all day, basically, trying to get rid of ticks.
I don't know if y'all can see that, but 86% humidity.
Oh,
that sounds miserable.
Yeah, I'm at.
And it's 81 outside right now, and it's raining. Okay.
Let me see. It's 77 degrees here. Feels like 75. And I'm at 9% humidity. Hey, I don't create the weather, Jeremy.
You live in like the best weather in the world. It don't get over 75 all year. You have no humidity.
Hey, it's gotten up to 90 degrees, 90s up here. It's been 100 before. But the difference is you can go stand in the shade and cool off. In Phoenix, you can't go stand in the shade and cool off. It's still, if it's 120, it's 120 in the shade. But no, I was down in Phoenix. I had to go get my award. I brag about that. Conservation Advocate of the Year. Although Leopold Conversation, but it should be Conservation Advocate of the Year.
Say that real fast, Chris.
Yeah.
I can't hardly say it slow. Gotta have an IQ above 69 to say anything fast. And then we went fishing on the canal, and it was pleasantly peaceful, and it was nice and cool. It said 90s, but it felt like it was in the 80s. It was a good time. And you'll be happy to know, Robert, I got a papered blue tick dog.
Oh, nice.
Where'd you run across that?
Yeah.
This guy right up here, Ryan Bailey.
Ryan Bailey. Okay.
I'll tell you something about raising dogs. Ryan raised them a little different, and Ryan has this program. He has this program. I'm trying to say schedule, but he has this program that he got from some people. And they do some weird stuff to me on it. And he's been doing it. So I'm curious to see how his dog, I feel like his dog, so he had his dogs in his house because he lives in the city. And so it's kind of a change for her to come here. And then it's kind of like Richie Rich, taking him out of the high class and throwing them with the white trash. Because all my dogs grow up outside. And they just run around like heathens.
Yeah, she's English blue tick.
Sorry. She's effing blue.
She's like my blue tick.
So she has these great lines. I hadn't even really looked through them. Even if I looked at them, I probably wouldn't know what it is. My lines are basically the only lines I got are when they pull the chain out. They're dragging that chain. I got the lines all over my yard. But she's adapting really well. He has this program that he bought from some people, and I think they only sell it for like $50. And it's I do most of it. There's some other stuff that he was telling me he did. It was kind of weird to me. It works for them. The guy catches a lot of stuff. But I think mentally, my program would be better in making them a little tougher. Is all I'm saying.
It's like a training program or what?
Yes. Yeah. And they sell it to people. It's a little packet, whatever. It tells you how to feed them, and it's really similar. It's really similar from what he's telling me. There's a couple things he does. I didn't want to really go into it. He could probably go into more, but I don't want to give away all the secrets. I don't know what it has in it. Ryan Bailey would answer that right now. My papers are still sitting on the dash in my car when I picked her up. But it's just she's going to be a bigger dog. I seen the mom and dad. And she's running with my little Catahoula's, and they're not going to be no bigger than 40 pounds, 50 pounds at the most. But she's picking it up. just little stuff like my pups are raised from the very smallest that when I say whoop, they come to me. And I remember I asked him, I said, have you recall trained them yet? And he said, no, I don't teach them their names, you know, but me, they all come to my whoop, whoop, you know, they all come to that. And you know, she knows her name. I named her Lady and my wife named her Zorro. Because she let me bring her home. But all my other dogs, I mean, they're probably 3 months old now. And even her, she's coming to the whoop because all the other dogs, puppies, come to the whoop. And when I say Zorro, she knows her name. And it's weird how they learn their names. It's crazy to me how these little dogs know their names. Because they're all around when I'm calling them. We got Duke. We got Goober. We got a girl named Arthur. Arthur's the one that I donated to the Great American Hound Pup giveaway. I'm kind of, man, I hate getting rid of dogs early, but I think she's going to turn out a pretty good one. But she didn't have one of my dogs didn't have no ticks on her 2 days ago. Now there's 1,000 of them seed ticks, the larvae ticks, those little. Cody went through it. If he gets on, I'll just ask him about ticks and watch what he does. He goes through the whole spiel about it. It's crazy. And I'm trying to get him to get a tick guy on to tell you about it. But I'm talking to her whole belly. So I called the vet and she gave me some of the chewables that are supposed to work in 4 hours, and they last for a month. You know, you give them once a month. I'm going to tell you it's no lie because I gave him that pill and my son picked up a puppy and them ticks were starting to jump and get all over the place. They're starting to, but I guess when they bite them, they die with this stuff. But I had literally 20 dogs to do. The bill on that ain't cheap. Them pills are like $20 a pill. It's crazy.
It's cheaper than anything I've ever found for them.
What's that?
That's cheaper than anything I've ever found for them.
Well, maybe she gave me a deal. I don't know. She just sent me the bill for my next order, and I'm like, it was like $300. I don't remember what it was, but it was $20 a pill plus.
For Vecto, which is a 3-month deal, $88 per dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to do this. Man, I've never had ticks this bad. We had an ambush of fleas one year, but I had a few last year. And what Cody is telling me, they engorge, the females engorge, and usually when you find the big fat gray ones, there's that one next to it, which is a male, and they'll engorge, drop, lay eggs. Those eggs can stay dormant for decades, however long time. And I bet someone's probably going to correct me, for years, months, like. And then what happens is something stumbles across these eggs and breaks them open. Bam, you get this infestation. But last year, Dirty had a whole bunch of those big gray ticks on them just that quick. So I was popping them and picking them and 7 dusting them. But once you get them in your yard, you have to just kill them.
Get you a bunch of them medicated ear tags, Chris.
You think those work?
For ticks?
Is that?
I used those Python ones for flies on my dogs, and they were fucking great.
It works good for ticks too.
That might be why I never have any tick issues.
You might find one crawling on them every now and then, but they don't stay long enough to get big and fat.
Cody was telling me to get some of that Thermador at Ace or Tractor Supply or somewhere. He says it's the same stuff as the Frontline. They say it's for termites, but it's the same exact stuff.
Yeah. Fipronil.
I like got a registered blue tick. What's up?
Vince Jeremiah Flog is on there. I want to thank him. When the fire started up where I live, he messaged me and I forgot to message him back.
Who was it?
Jeremiah Flaw right there.
Oh.
He just commented.
Yeah. Yep.
I just want to tell him thank you for offering any help that he did.
There you go. You're a hero, Jeremiah Flaw.
He is.
I owe him a shirt. I gave his wife a shirt last year, and I'm not going to be able to make it to the Horse, Hounds, and Mule sale.
Anyone in Colorado should try to make it. And that week, there's also the Game Commission meeting down in the same area.
I seen that. They're trying to get everybody to show up to that too.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Anyway, sorry.
He says, got a registered blue tick Jip that's 3.5 and 40 pounds. Looking for a smaller, compact registered blue tick. I like my Hounds 40 pounds, 50 pounds. I've had a couple big ones. Dirty was a big one. Luke was a big one. Andy was a big one. And they did good, but man, I tell you what, them big Hounds will gas out. They'll gas out.
Yeah, especially the dry ground stuff more so.
Bone Pile says kind of like a gay party on here. We're all the women. Now I'm feeling naughty. You boys talked me into it. He still shows up every week. And he knows there's no women here. And every time there's a woman here, they block him anyway.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to change this. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Robert.
He's the one talking about gay stuff, but he's the one at the bottom of a boner pile.
Yeah. I was going to say somebody needs to change his icon on here to pride flag.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get tonight. I want to talk about what do we do in the summer? Like Arizona, I don't know about you guys. I'd like to find out. Like right now, bear line shut down. We have coyotes open, but we don't have coyote hunters with dogs here. Well, everybody's a coyote hunter right now is all I'm saying, and a coon hunter. But
I mean, we can hunt year round here for coons.
Yep.
Or
Chris,
hogs.
make sure you get goat tags instead of the cattle tags, the smaller, right?
I don't know. I've used
I use a cow.
for 2 years. I haven't had no issues.
You pop a hole in their ear or what?
Yeah, I just fold it over or not the dog. I fold the ear tag over and send it through and then slip it on their collar.
Oh, so you put it on their collars.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So Cody was telling me, a buddy of mine had a grown cow killed by ticks 2 weeks ago. Cody was telling me there's these different forms of ticks. You got your one host tick, your 5 host ticks, but there's a certain tick that won't even lay eggs or breed unless it's on a cow. That's your one host. And the other ones will have 2 or 3, 4, 5 hosts before they can breed. It's kind of a weird deal. I hope Cody gets on tonight. Lost old Robert. But anyway, that's why I watch this show. No one ever talks any shit. I just love how everyone gets along. Yeah. Wayne, you drinking the night too?
Wayne.
Is he drinking the night too? You're on the wrong show. So, hey, Maddie, they're coming to Arizona. So, I told them to buy my Winslow property. You got Flagstaff to hunt. You could be in Show Low in an hour to hunt. You be in 4B, 4A, 5B to hunt within 45 minutes. But pop a hole in the ear. Retarded questions are retarded answers. He should have said only the left ear. Hey, I'll pop a hole in a dog's ear. I don't give a shit. Dustin, you made it.
It took me a few minutes.
Is it cool up there right now? You got some kind of cool weather?
No, I mean, it's been cooler today and, a little bit this week. It's only been in the 80s instead of in the 90s.
Man, we've been in the 70s.
Yeah.
Windy, but it's been nice up here.
Oh, it's been windy as hell for the last 3 or 4 days.
I have bear pursuit season July 31st. After that, we don't have coon season until fall bear opens back up September 15th to October 9th. Well, we don't have shit. Working on a bear pursuit season, but not for any out-of-staters.
Not yet.
I'm just going to start that fight right now. No out-of-staters. And we're going to listen. I do want to permit hounds. Not to hunt, just so I know how many there is.
How many people are actually running dogs in the state?
Yes. It wouldn't hurt my
Yeah.
feelings if I had to permit my dogs. And maybe not a permit every dog, just, hey, I got hounds.
Oh, I mean, you look at and it's different now with the way that lions are in Utah. But when I first started in Utah, if you were hunting lions and you didn't have a tag, you had to have a lion pursuit permit, which was $30. And bears are still the same way. Lions, not anymore because of what they did, but for bears, if you're hunting a training season or you don't have a bear tag and you're hunting during the kill season, you have to have a bear pursuit permit, which is $30. Idaho, to run hounds, you got to have a hound handler's permit, whether you're a resident or a non-resident. Non-residents have to draw for it, but residents still have to buy a hound handler's permit. Get caught without it, you get a ticket.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Dang you, Mr. Green Jeans.
Who's that? Dustin trying to be game warden?
He's up to date on his law.
Man,
I've been dealing with them all evening. So
you know, when it comes to game wardens in Arizona, none of them know the hound stuff.
Oh, well, no, it's like the story I told you about, the guy that come out from Michigan and just wanted to hunt with me for a day, and him and his boy were like, oh, well, let's go see what we can do with bears. And it was in the spring, and they're like, oh, well, they called the game warden. They're like, hey, I think they called the Fish and Game office, not the game warden, but
yeah.
And they're like, hey, whoever they talk to, they're like, hey, can we run dogs on bears in the spring? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, are you sure? And then it took them waiting for phone calls from them to make to whatever. It took a few hours for someone finally to call back and say, hey, no, you can't do that. Whereas the first person was like, yeah, go ahead.
I'd have hung up.
Yeah. Well, I think they did. And then they got phone calls back later. And yeah. But just, they really.
Because that's where you're getting your information from. That's just like.
Well, that's like going to ChatGPT as well. I mean, because you need to look in the book, and it's all online. The regulations is online, and most people are too lazy, including myself, to go through and read all the, and when you hear something from somebody, you kind of, you take their word for it. And so when you do call the Game and Fish Department, right? It's like calling the police department saying, hey, is it illegal to take a dump on the sidewalk? And they say, well, yeah, as long as you pick it up. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just like, the thing like that Casey Bear was talking about a little while ago. Someone just kind of told him, no, once the quota's full, you can't chase anymore. And that wasn't true until Casey started digging into it a little more and heard that, oh, yeah, once the quota's full, as far as lions go, you can still chase. Bears are not that way, but hopefully that gets changed soon.
Yeah. I just think, how long until we're locals, Chris? Maddie will be local right when she gets here. Wayne, you're on the holding list. You're on the no-fly list right now. Wonder just how many hounds in there. It wouldn't bother me if I had to register and say, hey, I got hounds.
$10 permit every year that you just
you
buy your hunting license.
I wouldn't mind paying for the permit if that permit went for bear and lion.
Yeah, like the collaring.
What we're allowed to use hounds for.
Yeah, the research programs on bears and lions.
Because they're collaring bears right now.
Oh yeah, they are.
So it wouldn't hurt my feelings that they took that money and bought more collars, because they don't really collar bears. And
No, the research they're gonna do on them is just gonna help get a better knowledge of what's going on.
yeah, and I always said when you relocate a bear, you have the perfect opportunity to collar that bear. And I
Oh
would
yeah,
love to see what that bear does when you take it 120 miles away
You'll come back.
and drop it. Well, there's a
some
case where
do.
Ours
they took
do.
it from Alpine or Greer, dropped it in like young. 4 years later, a couple years later, ended up over in New Mexico somewhere, like Silver
Yep.
City, somewhere crazy, and then ended back in 4 years within a mile of where it was captured or something.
Yep.
Like real close.
We had
You know?
one we caught. She had 4 cubs. They collared her and moved them 200 miles, and she was back in 3 months.
Yep.
And drowned it in a beaver hut.
Yeah. So it's just kind of cool to have that information.
Well, and it is, and with all the problems, with Arizona's water and the bears getting into the houses and the cabins, and people putting water out for them that's not helping, or feed or whatever. It would be interesting just to kind of see the impact it has on some of those relocated bears. I would be even more interested in catching one of those problem bears in a tree, darting it and putting a collar on it, and then keeping an eye on it and hazing it with dogs every time it comes near, really giving it hell, and seeing what that bear would do over time of constantly being pushed away from people every time it comes close.
I think that's what I just had conversation with Game and Fish the other day, because he caught a bear, but you're there, you catch it, you leave it in the trap, you let it out of the trap. I would like to take one house, let it out of the trap there at that place, run your dogs, get them up a tree, let them come down, paintball them, get them up another tree. I mean, you only need 2 or 3 dogs for this.
Yeah.
And so I think my hypothesizing is that bear, any dog area, that bear would probably stay out of. I would imagine it would stay out of the bear area or the dog's area if it heard a dog barking. But you'd really have to harass it. You'd really have to haze it out of there. Because even when they turn them loose, they come out of the trap and they shoot them with paintball guns and yelling and screaming. But I mean, even when you relocate them, you should call a houndsman and have 2, 3 hounds there to really pressure them, because they're already pressured enough, right? You get caught in this big trap, but they're not scared of it.
Well, and that's the thing, is when they get caught in the trap, all they're doing is just looking for food. They're not associating anything. You catch them in this trap, they get relocated and turned loose. What are they associating anything with that's bad?
Nothing.
Does that make
There's
sense?
no negativity.
There's no negativity. They come in, they live trap them in a barrel trap or whatever. I've seen the traps. All they're doing is coming into whatever smells good in there. They get trapped, they get loaded on a truck, they get taken out, and they get released, and they get paintballed 4 hours later.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, you catch that bear wherever it's at on that food, whatever they use for bait, and you turn it loose in the same place, like you're saying. And once you turn it loose, 5 minutes later, just because we don't need a rumble, you kick some hounds out, let them tree it. It comes down, then you punish it, and it then it's gonna somewhat associate the punishment with the sound of the dogs, and you punish it again and again, and then you keep an eye on that collar with the Fish and Game can keep an eye on it, And if it's came into houses again, you get there as quick as you can and you punish it again and again and again. And I'd like to see the difference in that versus what they're doing now.
I could see a 3-strike, you're out type deal.
Oh, definitely. You know, honestly,
if you come back after that third one, after being chased out by hounds, those bears don't care. And 90% of the time, they're boars.
The hard part is you're never gonna stop these goddamn hippies, people that love the animals, from putting water out, putting bird feed out, and not taking care of their garbage.
Told you we should have turned out at them houses, Chris.
Yeah, but they're gonna come in because bears are a lot more. They don't give a shit as much as a lion does.
They're habitual.
Yeah. And so if they get a drink here and they know that they can consistently get a drink here and it's in someone's yard because these people are watering the deer because they like to see the deer. I get it, especially on drought years. That's hard.
Oh yeah. I don't think it matters at all whether you have a bucket of water or a pool. When it's a drought year, they're coming in.
They're gonna find it, and they're doing what they need to do to survive. And I get that. It's the water is a different issue than food. Bears are opportunistic, and if you can teach them that the opportunistic food can sometimes come with a consequence, might deter them. But when it's a drought year and they're surviving, they're gonna survive. It doesn't matter what you do.
And bait areas are different because they're not populated. They're usually in remote areas.
Usually, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and there's always bears coming in and out. It's not like a bird feeder. They don't have bear feeders. They have bird feeders, squirrel feeders.
Yeah, we can't bait where we're at. Other states that bait, I mean, some states have an issue. Other states that bait have zero problems because the bears are getting fed out away from town. They don't have to come eat your garbage can because there's a garbage can out in their home.
Yeah. Yep. And everybody said, well, they got the trash can, bear-proof trash cans. Them bears will tear those open. They want to get in. A good big bear.
Especially if you got, a sow with 2 or 3 cubs sitting there helping her tear it up.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think you could haze them out a little bit. Instead of killing 60 bears, you might only be killing 20, 30. Especially the 2-year-olds. The 4-year-olds coming in, I mean, once they're 4-year-old coming in, they're setting their brain. They're setting their mind.
They get in habits. Like you talk to some of these guys that bait bears. I went into the comments and I can't figure out how to get back. Can you see me or not?
Yeah.
Oh, I can see you.
Oh, yeah. All I can see is comments. But anyways, like you talk to these guys that live in states that they consistently bait bears. Even if they pull that bait and they don't bait it for the next year or two, at least once or maybe twice a year, a bear that's been there before will come into that bait site and they'll check it.
Yep.
They're not gonna stay there because there's no bait, but they're gonna come check it because this is a place where food has been before.
Yep. I knew there was a tire with a beehive in it, and those bears would come back to there wouldn't be a beehive in there for 5 years, and those bears would come back to that beehive. I would always run bears off of that tire. And you had to get out and get back in.
That's like here, and I know back east, farther east from me, you'll have these little thickets where they habituate. There's looks like a bear toilet,
Yeah.
We don't have too many problems with them getting in the trash or nothing here.
Well, look at California. My cousin sent me a video of his daughter that lives over in where is it? Toronto or gosh dang it, what is that over there? That big goofy place in California. That's a bear sanctuary. Tahoe.
Lake
Tahoe. It's in Nevada, but right across the border.
Yeah.
Yep.
And those bears, she had a Jeep, ripped into her Jeep, had the tarp on it, and they don't do nothing there. They don't do nothing there. I think he's still trying to get out of the comments. So, California, they're horrible too. You fix it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm good now. I'll quit touching buttons.
I don't see California. I'm curious to see what they're going to kill with the 2 tags. I personally don't think they're going to have an all-time high.
No.
It ain't gonna be no different than what they've already doing.
Mm-mm.
No, it's for sure.
Because the opportunity has to be there in order for them to fill the 2 tags.
Yeah, and they're already only killing 1,000 average, give or take. They're not, you know what I mean? They're not shutting quotas down. I think what do they got? 1,700. That's their quota, 1,700, and it's not females, right? It's any bear.
Yeah, it's just
1,700.
bears.
You got 80,000 bears, even if you had 40,000 or 20,000 bears.
That's not even a dent.
No, I mean
That's a drop in a 5-gallon bucket.
no, those are coons, Wayne. Anybody in California train 2 or 3 300-pound coons?
Yeah, they
How do you
run
not tree a bear in California, even if you got a dog walking it on a trail?
Yeah, well, they run coons and gray foxes there.
Yep,
But
they'll
and
be back.
hogs.
Running dogs
I
will
think-
be back there.
I think they can still run pigs over there. I'm not sure.
I think so too. No one cares about pigs.
They do. I think you got to have tags for them out there.
In the old days, you didn't.
I don't doubt it.
I think you do now.
And then it went to like $10 for Ford pigs. And then they just kept changing it. I don't know what it is now. That was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you run anything. I think they can run deer, right?
In California? I don't think so.
With
There's
dogs?
got to
I
be.
think you can use tracking dogs, but that's it.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you can't run them. Anything. I don't think there's anything west of the Mississippi that you can run deer with dogs on. As far as
Here
I
you
know.
can. We're west.
Yep.
But in certain places, you can.
Yeah. So I got a question, Jeremy. Have you seen? There's I think that new bill or whatever that they're talking about. Trump opening up all these public lands to hunt on that are national parks or like the wildlife. What are the areas that you hunt with coons that are only certain times?
Well, I've got a national wildlife refuge right here.
Yeah, the wildlife refuges. So they're saying what he's doing is going to affect a lot of those that will open it up more for use like that. Like everybody was like, oh, he's going to open up national parks, and it's not that. It's a lot of the refuges that they're going to take away some of the stipulations on the refuges where like sometimes you can only hunt part of it or you can only hunt it part of the year, and it will make it more kind of in sync with the normal seasons.
See, it's got its own set of rules. Ours kind of follows the seasons.
Yeah.
But like pigs are considered incidental species. You can't actually go hunt pigs.
Mm.
You can kill them anytime with any legal weapon for the day, but like you can't run them with dogs. And during the month of February, I don't think you can even kill a pig.
Yeah.
That's when they run squirrel dogs. But mine are opportunistic.
Yeah, I was just listening to a podcast that was talking about that, and that's kind of what they were saying is it's really what it's gonna affect most is gonna be those wildlife refuges more than anything. That it's gonna open up more opportunity on those types of things. So
Well, see, that's like this one here. It doesn't get it gets a little bit of use. there's probably 15 of us that use it. It's 100,000 acres.
Mm.
We used to utilize it a lot more, like for the competitions, but we paid for a permit per each hunt, and that covered everybody that was there. And they found out, that it's no management to it. It's just a competition, so they got rid of it.
Oh,
They found out the rules. They cut it down where you couldn't have no more than 3 dogs. You have to have a firearm with you, and you have to kill every coon treed.
yeah.
So it goes against all the rules. So they just said, well, we won't utilize you.
Yeah.
And that was one of the big money makers for this particular refuge.
Which is kind of crazy that they do that, but
Because we
yeah, I
used
don't
to
know.
have a big competition for St. Jude, and it could hold, 7 or 8 cast, 4-dog cast.
Wow.
So, and actually it could hold more than that, but they cut it out and moved it
Why is there only 15 of you hunting it?
because that's the 15 that are close.
Oh,
Just, yeah, people that are close to it. So I don't know. I'll send you that podcast. I think it's one that Meat Eater put out, but they were talking about how it could really affect those wildlife refuges and stuff if it goes through. I will. I'll send it to you.
Hmm.
Anyways, a little rabbit hole, but
Never a little rabbit hole on this show.
nah, that one wasn't too bad. It was only a couple minutes.
Well, I mean, what's the difference of wildlife refuge or any of these that you can't hunt on or California? It's going to get just as crowded.
Well, see, that's like our big state national forest land is Kisatchie. There's a lot of stuff you can't do on Kisatchie because it's got like little sections that are run by the military.
Oh,
So, and then certain times of the year you can't do stuff. They're trying to get deer dogs back on Kisatchie because it's kind of hard to hunt. It's a bunch of rolling pine hills. It's about the closest thing we got to like out around Sholo, Heber, Overguard. It kind of looks like that. It's hills though; it's not mountains.
They say California. I think it was Meat Eater too. The guy was talking about that same thing in California. That lions are killing more because of the bear, because bear are opportunistic. Lions kill, and they just leave. But they're saying it, and it's the most densest populated at 4 bears per square mile. And that's crazy when a bear's home range is ridiculously huge. Unless they have food. Why leave Tahoe? Why leave Tahoe?
They're not going to leave a food source or a good water source.
No, we're used to bears that don't have amazing food sources or good water, so they travel a lot.
Yeah.
That's why your bears run 30 miles too, does.
Yeah. You get into different country where they got plenty of acorns, they got plenty of berries, they got plenty of this, plenty of whatever they're eating, and you have 6 bears in a canyon, but there's enough feed to feed those bears in that canyon. They're not going to travel. The only time them bears are really truly going to travel is when they're looking for love.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, see, that's just like the last 2 years. I hadn't seen an acorn since I've been out there. They're eating prickly pear.
Yep.
Because it's been so dry.
Yeah. Yep. And if you got such a dense bear population, they don't have to travel for love either.
Yeah, exactly. When California, they're not having to travel to find whatever they need when it's close by. I mean, They don't need to. There's no reason. Maybe them younger boars, they might be a little more transient, trying to find a little bit of a home that's not conflicting with a bigger boar, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, what about keeping your dogs in shape? How about the subject?
Well, right now I need to buy a treadmill.
Oh, so we're handicapped by heat and season, and you're handicapped by rain
And heat
and heat. Your heat's more destructive
and
with the humidity.
and humidity. I can take an in-shape dog out. Maybe not tonight because it's cooler, but just on a normal night, like last night, for instance, it was 95 degrees last night, 85% humidity, and a dog
Gross.
that's in shape, it takes it out of them.
So it's hard to keep them in shape where you are. Even an in dog, because what do you do to keep them in shape? Like a lot here, you run them. You go run them down the road.
That's just like we were talking one of the last podcasts. There's no way to make one's feet any good here. First off, we don't have any rocks unless you're running them up a gravel road. Number two, it's generally muddy or soft ground. That's nothing to make them a pad.
But do you blow their pads out if they run 20 miles down there where you are?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I can sore foot a dog down here. I got one that's got extremely bad. Well, Robert was with us last year. I had one that was walking funny, and I stopped and looked. She had a thorn stuck in her, but she's very, very, very. You run her hard one night, even if she's in shape, and she'll be walking cat-footed the next day.
What's blowing their feet out there, Jeremy?
I think they bust open, just like y'all's do. They're so soft because there's nothing to build a pad.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's thorns. We get them locust thorns that are 3 inches long. That's what blows a lot of mine out.
Right through the foot.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you got to go get them cut out, or they'll buster and you have to pop them and push out.
But you can coon hunt all year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can too. We pursue when in the off season. You can,
and we can harvest all year, but there's a limit during closed trapping season to 2 a night per party. So I mean, I can train puppies year round.
Is there any state that don't allow hounds in the field when seasons are closed? I know there's some states that if there's a deer hunt going on, they're not allowed, right? Is there any of that in Louisiana?
No. I can coon hunt 365.
What do you know of?
I'm trying to think. So back when Utah had like before lions were their thing or whatever, they definitely had some certain times of the year. Well, I mean, I guess not. I mean, you could coon hunt, but if you were out hunting places that there weren't coons, you could definitely get questioned during some of the big game hunts because the lion and the bear were shut down. But yeah, when I lived in Utah and I hunted coons in the river bottoms, there wasn't a day out of the year I couldn't go hunt. So, but I do think there are some states that sometimes, like I think they shut down for like 6 months.
Well, everybody talked about bear hunting, but really, you're only allowed to bear hunt for 3 months, right? October, November, December, 3 months. August, September. By the time the units close down, unless you're a traveler, you're not hunting a whole bunch.
No, there's 2 weeks, end of August, 1st of September, that you can kind of get after it in Arizona, and then it shuts down till October,
There's like
first
that
week of
little 2
October.
week. Actually, I
Yeah,
think it's only 1 week now because I think they
But
extended the.
yep, but that's for bears. In between that,
Yep.
Lions open. You can officially, that third week of August, Lions open up till May.
Yep. Unless the
So
unit shuts down, which they
yeah,
stayed open for a little. They shut down more than I thought they would without the snow. Because when
but
you get
even
a good
then,
snow, it shuts down quick.
even then though, you can still pursue.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's yeah. I mean,
I don't see the problem pursuing bear either. Like
I
I
don't.
don't understand their theory on it.
Well, it's like when we were in the Fish and Game meeting and we were talking about, pushing for the pursuit during just when the season's open and even maybe a summer. And someone said something about spring, and every one of those commissioners was like, no. Like they freaked out because of the Cubs. And I
Yeah.
get like they're like the spring season just targets the big boars. Like, and I get that. I do, but there are so many other Western states that have spring seasons, and you have zero. I can't say zero, but minimal issues with Cubs.
Give me your
Well,
theory on spring season.
I
Running
mean,
dogs, not running dogs.
I think it's a good thing to do it. Most of the time in the early spring season, yeah, you're going to catch some big boars. And if you can target them and do it, you can harvest some big boars. Yes, that is when the sows with young cubs are coming out or yearlings or whatever. But most of the time, when you kick dogs out unknowingly, because not every time you can see a cub track or whatever.
Like on a rig.
Yeah, on a rig, if it's a pop up, if I kick my dogs out and in 200 to 400 yards they have a bear treed, most of the time it's a sow with cubs, and her cubs are higher than her.
Yep.
She doesn't run. She doesn't take off with them cubs. She pushes them up a tree and she climbs up the same tree.
They
Man, I
do the
don't
same
want to.
thing here.
Yeah,
Yep.
I hate. I don't want to like. I don't want to put targets on anybody's back, but there's probably more cubs killed with spot and stalk in the spring. I'm not talking
Yes,
killed, but that are going to die
they're
because
orphaned. They're
yes,
orphaned.
orphans. Mm-hmm.
I even not even in the spring season, like in the fall season as well. Like
Yeah,
just because a sow has cubs, just like a lion, guys that run female lions and kill them, just because you didn't see kitten tracks with her does not mean she doesn't have kittens.
and are you going to
Same
be
with,
put? Is that cat going to be put in a position where you can actually see if she's milked up?
and that's definitely. But even then,
And if they do, if they even
how
care,
how long do those kittens nurse? And then once they stop nursing, how long do they live with their mother, living off of meat while she teaches them to survive? Same with bears. They only nurse for so long, but yet they're still with their mother, learning how to live,
Yes.
learning how to hunt, learning how to find food. So when you kill a 4-year-old sow, whether you can see that she's been nursing or not does not mean that you didn't just kill 3 bears with one shot.
Yep.
I mean, and I'm not going to criticize anyone that does it. It's
Hey, legal
that's
is legal.
and I get that, and I'm just coming at it from a biology standpoint. That I mean, hell, you look at our kids. The little assholes quit breastfeeding at a year old. At 18 months old, can they survive on their own? No.
Most 30-year-olds can't survive on their own these days.
Hell, I'm almost 39 and I can't survive without some sort of supervision. Just
Without a
saying.
titty.
Yeah, exactly. But
Chris
and it's
can't either.
hard,
Hey,
you know, and most guys are not educated enough to look at some of them what they catch, they still couldn't tell if it's a wet female or a wet sow. They have no idea. They just see a lion or a bear in a tree, and away they go. And you go to the spot and stock guys that see it at 400 yards across the canyon. There is no way in hell you can tell that lion or that bear is nursing cubs 400 yards across the canyon. No way.
Tim's probably pretty accurate on this. 9 times out of 10, a dry sow in the fall is a pregnant sow.
Exactly. In the fall, yeah, for
so
sure.
how many are we all killing? You know what I mean?
And I'm not one that says that it should be 0% female lion and 0% sow, because I do think in right situations and right circumstances, a few need to be taken off the landscape. I do. But it's just hard. And that's where, when it comes to bears and lions, hounds are the most honest way to assess the game that you're gonna harvest when it comes to those predators.
Gives you the best picture anyway.
It does. You know, I mean, even if a lion is 70 feet up in that tree, that's closer than 400 yards across the canyon. And if I'm not sure, I'm going to bang a stick, do whatever, get it to move to where I can see a little better, or I'm going to climb and I'm going to look.
Yeah.
You know, it just is what it is. And that's hard, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we got here off of what we do in the off season, but down a rabbit hole we went.
Well, it's part of it.
It is. I mean, and I think everyone needs to educate themselves as much as they can about what a boar or a sow looks like, or a tom or a female, or, you know, and if you're talking coons and you have a hell of a lot of coons, it probably doesn't matter as much.
So what's your thought about just having a pursuit season in the spring? Do you think there would be cubs stretched that much, or do you think it would teach them cubs, shit, these are dogs? When we hear a dog, we leave. Do you think that would help?
Cubs are pretty fast.
You think that would help your habituation problem?
In my
you got humans and dogs when you're a baby. You know, it's a what is that?
It's
a
an education
situation.
It's an education, no matter what. And in the end, yes, I do think there could be those few instances, but they're not even gonna close to outweigh the good that could come from it. Not even close. Like you say, that you're gonna see those cubs. They're gonna climb a tree. They're gonna hear dogs. They're gonna see people. They're gonna see the interaction that mom has. Whereas if you get a 2-year-old bear that's never seen people, never seen dogs, walking in, he's hungry, he's thirsty, and is coming into a neighborhood and hears dogs barking, he's going to be alert, but he has no idea what it is. Never seen
like
one
when
before.
You get attacked by a dog as a kid, right?
Yeah.
You're always afraid of dogs.
Yeah. You remember it for your whole life. I mean, I deal with that, with my wife. She had that happen when she was younger. And, now when she goes on a walk in the neighborhood and a dog comes running to the fence, she still is like, she gets amped up, like freaked out, like something's going to bite her again. I think it can stay with animals just the same. I think they have more of a survival instinct than we do. So I do think it could help, but also I do know that there's always going to be those shitty instances that something goes wrong.
Well, let's just say you're running a bear, gets in a tree, some spot stalker walks up and shoots it.
Yeah,
Now, who's in trouble? Who's in trouble for that? The spot and stalk guy who used the dog to kill a bear, or are you in trouble for treating a bear and someone shooting it?
No. Well, are we talking during an
It's
open
got to
legal?
be proven.
I'm talking spring. I'm talking if you had a pursuit
A
season
spring,
in spring.
a spring pursuit that's pursuit only for hounds,
Yep.
but you can do a spot and stalk kill.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't think anyone is legally at fault, but I think he's unethical as fuck.
100%.
You know, I would be honest. I bet you there is. I would like to say 60%. 6 out of 10 hunters are unethical in some point in their life.
I
And it's
agree.
the ones that are good their whole life that do that one unethical thing and get caught too. It's not the poacher, not the
Well,
unethical guy.
they live a little bit in the gray area, and
Oh.
whether what they do or not is detrimental or it's just a bending of a crappy rule or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think, and I don't know, to put a statistic on it is hard, but yeah, humans are humans.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, that just goes into off-season training and pursuit season, and
It does.
Hell,
It does.
you know, keeping them in shape. Even if I go out, I got a railroad track. I got an old one. Don't have no tracks on it. We call it the railroad track. It was an old railroad track way back in the day, and it's 2 miles. So we'll drop the dogs and go. And it's good because they'll see antelope and they'll see elk, and you can buzz them and train them. But I don't like to just go run them on the roads, because when you run dogs on the roads all summer for exercise, what do they do when you drop them?
They run the roads.
They run the damn roads.
Mine are the same way.
Sometimes that's great. When they take off and they're miles away, they'll hit a road. When dogs get lost, they'll hit a road.
Yep.
After a while, they know. What do you do all day? You drive a road. Dogs aren't stupid. So they'll stay on those roads. After they're wore out, they'll get on those roads because they know somebody's going to show up on those roads.
Yep.
And nowadays, it's more common, right? In the old days, you didn't know where they were. You drove around until someone called you, or you got lucky, and you would drop your coat and your dog food in a spot where you dropped them, because the dogs will normally always go back to where you dropped them.
They'll backtrack themselves if they got a good homing ability. Yep.
A big majority of the time they will. And it's great. I love the GPS, because when I first got them and I watched it like a hawk, now you don't even, how many times you've been out there like, God dang, where are them dogs at? And you're like, oh shit, I guess I could check the GPS. It's like a new toy when you first get it. But shit, all day today. I have some old TT15s that the Garmin Express, you have to get on the web updater. And then, so I got my daughters all programmed in. So, but so we'll get back to training as far as keeping them in shape, which was like number one thing we were talking about. I still got 10 others, but I mean, I like to get out into the woods. I like to take these 3-4 month old puppies out and just let them see what's out there. Logs, trees, springs, rocks, like roads,
Yep.
And I don't think a lot of people have a bad, game wardens have a bad rep. And there are some asshole game wardens that will try to write you a ticket for being out in the woods in July. No matter what you say, they'll harass you about it. You know what I mean? But I mean, and to me, if you're out there running your dogs around, exercising, and they tree a bear, so what? So what? You pull them off, you go on. It doesn't hurt. I was talking to Kyle King about pulling dogs, right? I think we had a conversation where people will say, if you can pull your dogs off a tree, they're no good. Well, that's about as bullshit. That's just bullshit. You know, a guy said on one of the puppies that I'm giving away, said, "Oh, those dogs look like they're like good mannered or they're behaved dogs." And I'm just like, I like manners. I like manners. And you do have those dogs that do not want to leave. But
Yeah, they all
they
have a
know
different level of drive.
if you're catching one bear and leaving, they're not going to want to leave. If you're catching a lot of bears, I could probably shock the shit out of my dogs off a tree, and they'll go rigging up. They'll rig that same bear down the road, and they'll go chase it again.
Yep.
You know, and with bears, they're more common. It's not like you're catching 2-3 lions a day.
No.
I'm not saying people don't, but it's just not something you go do. And if you could catch 2 or 3 mountain lions a day,
You'd have
everybody'd be doing that too.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I call my dogs off a lion tree the same as I do a bear tree. I treat it no different.
I don't know why they don't put shocking collars on those animals. I think it's too much trouble and it's too expensive.
Well,
and I think the battery system of it,
yep,
is what it is. I mean, even a TT25 George Bart could get those to last 3 weeks, and I'm sure that's putting it on the highest setting you can.
Dynamic mode.
Yep. Yes. And I think, and even putting them in that save battery mode when they're not traveling. Like I think he was saying, can't you shut those down?
Yeah, you can shut them like way down, but it's still, you're not going to get the battery life out of the collars that they put on for months.
Need a lot of battery. Now, honestly, though, if you did put a tracking collar and a shocking collar on a problem bear, and you could watch that bear, if you could shut that down, and you've seen him coming in the houses, you could light him up. You could light him up, and then catch him later and replace it. But I think that's just. Let me tell you something about game wardens, though. Their only job is not in the woods.
No, but at the same point,
that's a biologist thing. That would be a certain specialized person that worked, let's just say, Greer and collared those. But even then, like I said, you got a 4-year-old bear that's coming in every day. You're not going to probably persuade him not to. Now, a 2-year-old bear, maybe.
But at the same point, it's going to take some training to acclimate that bear that shock means turn around and go the other way. Because just because he's walking into these houses and you zap him, what's going to make him turn around? Instead, maybe he'll run and barrel under a house because something bit his ass. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because he don't know any different.
Well, just like a dog when you shot one the first time.
Yeah, they have no idea what the hell that was.
Yeah.
And so it takes consistent training, and I think that might be a little tougher on a bear or, a lion or whatever. So, and the minute that the other side figures out that's what's going on, that's
more ammunition.
That's a whole fight for another day.
Oh, that's what stops conservation and wildlife management 110% is those people who have no clue. That's what stops hound hunting. Like right now, we're talking about what you do in the off season. And I talked to a vet today trying to get some donations or something because they're the top vet up here because they don't judge. There's other ones here that will literally not take you, talk shit to you, turn you in because you came in with dog's guts hanging out. Now, a person who didn't care wouldn't go to the vet. They'd shoot that dog right there and go get another one.
Yeah.
Period. And rabbit hole real quick, Jeremy. You said, I have a puppy right now. I got a dog from a guy that I gave to him like 8 years ago. Brought her here. I think she was just coming out of heat or in heat. I don't know. She didn't act like it. And well, I know she was in heat and didn't know because he said she'll come in heat and won't swell up and don't act stupid. He'd only know because the male dog would act stupid. And I think they're all black, a little bit of white. So I know my black lab, he got off. So he's the culprit. She had a litter and they got sick and died. I wasn't worried about that litter because it was mutt litter. And they were probably just going to get passed out.
Probably your best damn litter you ever had.
So I have one that survived this. I call him Django. And I can't say on air why because I have to use that word. But I call him Django. And this dog, and I've always wanted to take some lab. They breed with healers and border collies. I wanted to take a lab, you get that half lab, and then breed another and try to get that quarter lab. But this little dog, he's a survivor. He was covered in ticks. I think he's by a tree that had the tick eggs in it. And I dusted him, and I gave him enough topical for 100-pound dog. And this little sucker is smart and has stayed alive. And I'll probably keep this ugly, nasty, plot-looking dog. That was an attack on Plot, guys, but they're ugly black dogs. I don't like black dogs. I like black dogs chase birds. I don't like black, but he's a loner. He comes in every once in a while. I don't have him chained up. All my other dogs are chained up right now. He's really small, but I bet you he's going to be. I'm going to use him on bears, and I'm just going to use him and see what he does.
I'm going to tell you, it probably turned out to be something.
Labs have brains.
I was talking about, for the web feet.
Yeah, you need them over there.
Two little puppies of Casey's. Them two little dogs swam for 3 hours the other night. They finally got a break when I was dealing with the other two that were getting electrocuted and skunk sprayed. But anyway, and that's a lie about the water and the skunk. Everybody says, "Oh, don't get your dog wet after they get sprayed by a skunk." But there was so much water, the dogs did not smell like skunk. There was a little odor on the collars, but not the dogs.
So
yeah,
they were already wet, right? And isn't the skunk stuff kind of oil based?
Yeah,
your castor or whatever.
And then they went and got in the water. They caught it in a hole right beside a ditch, so they're in the water. So they went out and rolled and tried to get it off themselves, and then went back in the water and tried to get the skunk again because they're idiots. And then I realized
blame that on undercovers, dog.
I didn't have but one of his, and she wasn't part of it.
Blame it on it anyway.
Two of my older dogs.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was a fiasco. But talking about dogs that go opposite the direction that you want them to. After I shocked that English dog, she went 1,000 yards across the field and stopped.
Yeah. Well, how about nutrition in the summertime? Cut your dog's feed.
Do not overfeed.
You just learned that. I mean, it's right here. Should you reduce feed when they're not hunting? I think you may not want to reduce feed, but reduce the protein and fat. So buy that cheaper bag of the red bag. I feed the red bags in the summer.
I went to the silver bag, which is the same as the red. It's just,
it's low.
Yeah. Well, no, it's 24.20.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. But, it's still the free. It's no corn, wheat, soy, or gluten, but it is not grain free. So
yeah.
No, there was. I think when we talked about that a little bit ago, there's not a value pack that's grain free. They all got some sort of grain in them.
Well, this
it's
is
rice and other stuff.
Yeah, this is wheat and rice bran and beets and green peas, but it don't have the sweet potatoes in it. And that's what they were talking about on that podcast, was the one that's using the sweet potatoes as the binder.
Yeah. Yep. No, I think, I try not to reduce the amount of feed, but yeah, kind of change up the ratio of it. But some dogs, they just get fat and you have to cut them back.
All of mine got fat. The only one that didn't is that daggum plot dog. I think I could feed her a 50-pound a sack of feed a day and she wouldn't get fat.
Yucky. It's like people, right? People who can eat hamburgers every day, not gain a pound. You walk by and smell one, and you go home, you're 3 pounds heavier.
Well, it's just, everybody's dogs are no different. Metabolisms are different. Their digestive systems are different. And then that's where it comes onto you that you got to pay attention to each and every one of them. Yeah, you might be feeding your whole kennel 2 3/4 cups of a certain feed, and one dog's going to look like he never gets enough, and the other dog's going to look like you're feeding him 6 cups a day. And that's where you got to cut them back, because to me, there is nothing worse than letting that dog get so fat and so out of shape and then turning around and trying to hunt it. That does that dog no justice. That is a huge fault as a houndsman.
I've got one, Dustin, that looks like a show pig. And she'll be leading the pack. You hear me?
Yeah, I get you. As long as she does good. And some dogs can carry that weight and hunt well. And others can't.
My wife calls her Wide Wanda.
Kind of like Fat Lori.
I thought when Jeremy said my wife, he was going to go down a rabbit hole that was going to get us all in trouble.
No, I would have had to.
I'm already in the doghouse for that one, because I told her, I said, "Hey, sounds like the pot calling the kettle black."
Those videos that something bad comes up and says, due to the extreme nature of this program, we will have to black this out for the next fight.
Yeah, contains domestic violence.
Yep, but I think, you pay attention enough to your dogs to know, and I think when it comes to a fault is when guys will lay up their dogs for 3 months because they can't hunt, and so those dogs, they might get to run around in the yard a little bit, they might get to do this, but it is so much harder to take a dog that is completely out of shape and fat and get it into shape than to maintain somewhat of a physical ability and shape in that dog. Whether you take them out and road them a couple times a week, whether you're even if you go for a 4-mile walk with your dogs, or a 2-mile walk, if you go for yourself and walk 2 miles, those dogs are going to put on 4 miles while you walk 2 miles.
Even on a mule.
You just, if you set your hunt, on your Garmin, and then you look at it at the end of the night just to see how far you and the dogs have traveled, or what dogs worked harder.
Yes.
Every one of them is going to be different.
Very much
even
so.
Even two of them that hang out side by side, one's going to outdo the other one on their, mileage or whatever
on
you
their
want
total
to call
distance.
it. Yeah. And
yes,
this fat dog, Lord have mercy. I mean, she's right there with my big running male dog. I mean, far as distance traveled. Now, but she's a track straddler, so she's not going as far to find game as he is. He's looking for the hottest thing going. She's looking for what walked 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And, but when you put her and my other older gyp together, they compete. So they help each other.
Definitely.
And, but like I said, she's generally right there in the front of it.
Yeah. Well, we talked
my
about
problem.
overheating.
My problem is my scoop that I was using, I thought was 2 cups. It was not. It's closer to 4. So
yeah, that'll do it.
So anyway.
Well, how many of us use the old cans or the green bean cans or the coffee cans? But you do got to check that. But someone said out of shape dog is going to be more prone to injury. we talk about overheating dog, but honestly, a heavier dog jumping off rocks, just
It's
handling
harder on their
yourself.
joints and stuff. And
I
just like
it's
Mr.
not
Jim's saying,
it's not
they
fair to
overheat
them.
faster. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not fair to them for you to lay them up for 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, and all right, bears. So it'd be like me. Lion season here ended May 30th or 31st, whatever day it was. One of those two. I can't run bears until, and if I want to travel, August 4th. But if I want to stay close to home, August 21st. So we'll go with the 21st.
Yeah.
So that's the whole month of June, the whole month of July, and 20 days of August, 21 days of August that I can't run. If I laid those dogs up completely, never took them out of their kennel, never did anything, and expect them to catch a bear on August 21st, that's disgusting. Like, I would have overheated dogs. I would have sore dogs. I honestly, with some of the dogs that I have and the heart they have, they'd kill themselves trying.
Well,
It ain't
that go,
fair.
and that's a segue into foot care. If you are sitting for 3 months in the summer, them nails, if you don't change your feed, them nails are going to grow.
Oh
I
yeah.
know. I got dogs that I can go run them all season and put them down for a month or two. Them damn nails grow.
Oh
Well, that's
well,
like
they
that fat jip. When I came down to hunt with Jared, he's like, "What the hell are those?" Because she looks like a badger. I mean, like got
yeah.
fingernails
Well,
like I got,
that's for climbing.
and she's on concrete.
Yeah.
You know,
But
she's not
some
right now.
dogs,
She's running around in the yard trying to lose weight.
but
Well,
some of them you got to look. Some of them carry their feet just a little different.
Well,
Them toes sit
she's
higher.
flat footed.
Yeah, so
She
they sit
sits more
higher.
on the back of her
Yep.
pad than she's not cat footed like most of your hounds.
I've got a
You know,
yearling that's that way. He runs harder than a lot of stuff I have, and, and his claws are longer. But I guarantee you, if I'm on a hard running sucker, he will be there and he won't quit. And you'll pull him back, you'll load him, and you'll load my other three dogs that are still there, and he looks like he's a badger. And the other ones are just nubs. But it's how he carries himself.
But I've
So
noticed. I don't know if that's got anything to do with the toughness of their feet or not, but she don't get sore footed like the rest of them.
Mm.
I think it's the same. It's the same thing. You just
She
Yucky
just waddles, but she don't
never.
get sore footed.
Yeah, Yucky
Yeah.
never got sore footed. Never. 100 miles an hour, 100 miles jump. It don't matter. He just never got sore footed. Just
Well,
had
it's
good pads.
it's I mean, it's no different than people. Some guys
Yeah.
can walk 10 miles a day and be fine the next day, and the other guy that walks 10 miles is laid up for 3 days. It just is what it is, you know. Dogs are built different, just like people are built different, you know.
They were gonna kick me out of the military before I even got in because I had flat feet.
Mm.
And I said, I don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't know I had them. They don't bother me. Past the physical, they've never bothered me.
Yeah.
You know, but I just grew up with them. I guess I didn't even know I had flat feet. Didn't know what they were. Hell, I had spinal bifida and still went in and did my thing.
So I don't know. Like I say, get back to the off season thing. I think you don't do them dogs any justice. They're athletes. Athletes need to train no matter whether it's the off season or the peak season. They need to train.
Oh, football players, basketball players, baseball players.
Yeah, you know, and
they don't play for 2-3 months and then just go home.
no, well, and even then, you know, like you can road dogs for 3 months straight, 3 times a week for 10 miles. And even then, they're still not going to be in that peak shape that they are when you hunt them 3 days a week. It's different. It's a whole different shape. Roading shape or exercising shape versus hunting shape is different. But you're at least giving them that next step up.
Yeah.
You're giving them the leg up versus starting from zero.
Mr. Rick, just to answer your question, I had problems with Diamond doing that before I swapped the value pack. I hadn't had any problems since.
Do you think a dog, when you're feeding them the same food every day for years, can become allergic to it or become? I believe this is what I think.
Intolerant, yes.
I think you should swap your dog food around and mix it up. I think you should buy a bag of Retriever and a bag of Diamond, mix it up, or Value Pack and Diamond and mix it up.
Well, I mean,
or mix it in and then kind of go to Diamond for a month or two.
Not to sound like an asshole, but do you like eating the same goddamn thing every day?
That's what I've always thought.
That's the way I've always thought about it.
And I like to mix in some meat. Like, I think if you're mixing in some meat or some supplements or some eggs with certain things or stuff like that, that helps. But if you're just feeding straight dry kibble, yeah, I think it's a good idea to maybe not even change foods completely, but in a season that's maybe an off season, mix it half and half with something that's a hair lesser.
That's what just to change up
just
the
a
flavor.
filler or something.
Yeah,
and that's expensive, right? But go eat Cheerios every day. One cereal, just take cereal. You don't want to just eat. You want some Cocoa Puffs. You want some Frosted Flakes.
But it is easier on a digestive system to be consistent. That's proven. I've seen it multiple times, even with humans. If you eat the same breakfast every day, it's easier on your digestive system. Mm-hmm. It knows what's coming. But I do think it can benefit them to eat some animal fat, eat some meat scraps, eat something different, and kind of just.
Well, that's what they were bred to eat, is meat.
But if you do eat the same thing every day, eggs, let's say eggs every morning, and you get you a big bowl of cereal, that milk's going to give you a bellyache. So
yeah,
should you kind of make your dogs tolerant? Because them dogs find something to eat out in the woods, they're going to eat it. They'll eat a skunk's butthole faster than you can catch them. You know what I mean?
They're going to roll in it. They're going to eat a nasty deer carcass. They're going to eat shit out of an old fire pit that you hike by.
But that's my anthropomorphism kicking in, as far as, if I said that right. It's thinking like as a human to an animal.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I've had comments on this already. When Dustin's not here and you can't see him, he's checking his phone. He didn't leave. I've seen some comments like, "We can hear you, we can't see you."
And Fisher's lying because there ain't no pork on that place.
No. You're probably right. No.
Javelinas, maybe.
So Jared said, my dogs are fat and worthless. That's because Casey's trying to get him fat and worthless, not to keep up with his dog, so his dog look better.
Well, that's because he don't like them black dogs either.
You don't like them black. But hey, I got a black.
Even though he does own a few.
I'm part of the club. He's a good little pup too, man. I think he's going to do really good. But so
he tries to cull them and give them away when he gets one out of the litter.
So not just the dogs, not just keeping the dogs in shape, not, your physical conditioning, your nutrition, your foot care, your health maintenance, vaccinations, treating all their wounds, maybe, getting them back healthy, because sometimes when you run, and them dogs, we've all heard it before. You can take a dog that's 10 pounds overweight and he looks like he's 30 pounds underweight in 3 days.
Definitely.
But if you have a dog that's on a chain or a kennel and that damn dog runs circles all day long, which is great for their feet. Trust me, I got some dogs that do it. But man, they lose that weight because they're constantly running circles on the chain or running back and forth on the kennel because they want to go. So I think to answer the question is you have to pay attention as a handler. Now we could go into the handler part of this as far as letting your dogs go out with 3-inch nails. Do you clip them before you go out? That way you're not getting
I do
stuck in a
mine.
rock. They're not getting stuck in the fence.
Well, that way they're not ripping them off.
That's what I'm saying. Breaking them off and causing more. I've had short nailed dogs break nails off. When you get into those rocks and bluffs, it's just dirty. You know, it's like moving rocks around. You smash your finger. You don't mean to. Just you know.
Yeah, I get it. I've never been one that's clipped them, but I've also been one that's never let them.
You run enough.
I don't. Yeah, I don't let them get to looking like grizzly bear claws.
Well, that one dog is the only dog I have to clip nails on.
But that's you paying attention.
That's the handler.
Yes.
I felt sorry for her when she first got fat. I was going to put her in that 1/4 acre pasture and turn her loose, and the daggum badger tried to dig out.
That's my plan. My plan, because I've been looking for property, and I want to get to where I have a 1/4 acre pen. I can turn my dogs loose, and they can go run around like retards the whole time and act stupid, burn off some of that energy. But even before we get out of the dogs and start talking about handler and what else you can do off season, because it's not just about the dogs, right? You got equipment you should be working on. And when do you work on it? You work on it 2 days before. 2 days before you're supposed to go.
Come on, Dustin.
And you start getting your equipment together, and you're like, shit, I should have sent my binoculars in, or I should have sent that Garmin in, or I should have replaced that an antenna, or I should have replaced the batteries, or whatever it is. But health maintenance on a dog, right? What do they? If someone puts you in a room for 2 months, you drive yourself crazy. You feel that's the same with the dog?
Oh yeah. I mean,
I got for 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
It depends on the dog too, though, because I got one
that it depends on their drive.
Yeah, she could stay in a box all day long, every day for 6 months. She's gonna come out when I drive up, but that's her safe place. She don't care about nothing else. That's why she's up here at the house.
Well, it's like everybody, even people, we all got our different amounts of drive,
Oh, some people will go hunt, right?
Well, like some people can't live without it. They have so much drive. Like if they don't hunt for a week straight, like they're pulling hair. And I get it. I get that way. And other people, you know what? They're good 2-3 times a month. It satisfies what they need. Dogs are the same. It doesn't mean that when you load them all up and get to going, that the dog that is good 2 or 3 times a month and the dog that needs it 3 times a week are going to hunt different. But it's just something you deal with. Because, I mean, when I go feed, I have certain dogs that can't contain themselves. And it's not so much the feed. It's they're ready to go loading the truck.
Oh,
and I've got other dogs that are just like, hey, it's easy going, it's whatever. It's so much comes into just being able to read a dog or pay attention and learn that this dog needs this, that dog needs that. And yeah, you can. When you have enough of them, some guys just treat them all the same, and some work out, some don't, and I understand that. But it's all on what the guy running the program does.
Let's go into the mental simulation part of it in the off season. Most people who have dogs don't do drag training. If you have puppies, you could do drag training, get them in obedience and kennel manners, right? Just obedience. But how about loading and unloading for those? You have a couple months.
Recall training.
Oh, recall yard work. My number one. When they're 4 weeks old, I start feeding them. When they're starting to eat dry food, it's whoop whoop every time I feed, or whatever you guys do, whistle, whatever. If you have a stupid little horn to blow, I mean, it all helps. I don't care about names till later. They just learn their names. I've already said this. They just learn their names. But when they hear me say whoop, they all come. So why not take that time for your dogs when we're talking about dogs to teach them how to load up. Again, I mean, if I open my tailgate or my horse trailer, if they hear my horse trailer gate open, they go nuts back there because they think we're going somewhere.
Well, that's like mine. Casey commented when we were out at the rendezvous last year. He said, "Man, I've got to hand it to you." He said, "I have never seen dogs not just go berserk when you pull up, especially to feed them." I was like, "Well, I was in the wrong truck." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "My dogs know the difference between my work truck and my hunting truck.
Yeah, they do.
They go ape shit crazy whenever I pull up in that work and that hunting truck."
Or what about when you start your side by side?
Oh, I can pull up in the side by side and they'll bark a little bit, but they don't do it as bad as they do when I pull up in that hunting truck.
Yeah. I mean, in
That's
my
even
opinion,
like Jared Fay's dogs. They know the difference. You know, they've learned. Now they still bark a little bit, but you know, it's just because they're excited about getting fed because his are food driven, mine aren't.
you know, it just
I
I
can
think you
feed
just
mine,
have
they
to
may eat, they may not.
I think you have to take advantage of your downtime if you're forced to have downtime. Like right now, I have 6 puppies, 5, 4, 5, 6 puppies, and they're my son. So we let them off during the day, and they go back on the trout line at night, just so their chain broke. I've gotten dogs that were 10 months old. Scooter, one of my main original dogs, that guy would follow me. We'd go coon hunting, and he would just follow the truck. Drove me crazy. I mean, I would shoot at him BB gun to get him away from the truck. And then, but in the end, it always brings me back to Mike Roots when Brett said, "You don't care if that dog's out there running them coyotes?" He said, "I don't care. He'll be back." He says he'd be more mad if he wasn't running coyotes because those dogs talk to each other. They know when there's a good bark and a bad bark if you watch your dogs, you know.
And they know which dog they can trust.
That lead dog, when Dirty barks, every one of my dogs stop and go to him. You know, and I think some people have said, well, you don't really have a number one dog. You shouldn't. They should all do that. But you always have that dog that
there's always the number 2. You're the number 1, and then there's a number 2 that's directly under you, and that's the dog they're going to listen to.
Yep. Take some of your dogs with you when you were running. Well, that's it right there too. How many people just load up a dog, go check the mail?
You got to spend time with them.
Got it. The best thing you can do, and this is hard for kids to understand sometimes, especially when it's a chore to feed the dogs. Lyndon's really good about it. And I'm like, what took you so long to feed those dogs? And he would sit at every barrel or doghouse, and pet those dogs. And when you do that, the respect you get from the dogs is outrageous. You're not just dump and feed. You're there to pay attention to them, especially in the off season.
That's what I try to do with every one of mine. Now, like tonight, it started raining, so they didn't get their usual petting. But I try to put hands on them, at least look at them while I'm feeding them, just to see what's going on. Mm-hmm. Make sure I was talking to Dustin about one of my gyps. She's out of her cycle range. She's normally right there with the rest of them. Well, she just come in the other day. She's 2 months late. I just thought she just missed one, but she didn't. But she picked a good time to come in because I have not been able to hunt much, either for rain or work or just life in general.
Yep.
But
if they had a morning after pill for a dog, it would make things so much easier in life.
They used to have a shot.
The problem is the males It's not the female. When you got anybody in heat, that male, they'll hunt, but it's just distracted. You get distracted. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, I've heard of guys giving them the pig shots, Ludolice, and stuff like that. But
Oh, I don't doubt it. Chris, my dogs are a good example of that. If you don't pet them when you feed them, that food will be in their bowl the next day. You know, maybe they felt, oh, shit, he didn't pet me. I did something wrong.
yeah, just
Mine-
that's a
mine-
sign of someone that spends some time with them.
Mine quit eating in this heat.
Oh, yeah.
You know, even if you're running them, mine may
Yep.
eat a little bite, they may not.
Yep, definitely.
In the winter, I try to feed them in the morning and at night. I really do.
Well, in the winter I do a little bit different. I water bait their feed,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with some hot water or
Yep.
meat stock or whatever, you know, whatever old meat I've got. I don't do like Chris and feed it to my friends and strangers. I'll boil it and make a broth and chop it up and feed it to the dogs.
Yeah.
But in the summertime, they just get plain Jane old kibble and fresh water.
Yeah, that's I will put when it's hot, I'll definitely put some water in their feed just to make sure I know they're getting some.
You have to.
You know.
I won't eat kibble with water in it unless it's, you know, broth with meat in it.
Yeah.
If I just soak their feed, they won't touch it. I have to pour it out 2 days later.
But I tell you this, I'll say this out loud. They opened the season on these horses. My dogs had beaten a lot better.
I figured I'd get a comment from Casey Fair about my dogs being hydrated.
Jeremy's dogs are always hydrated.
I mean, I agree, Chris. Though I mean, if you can feed a dog a meat diet with a little bit of something or other else in it, they're gonna do a lot better than they will do on a kibble, for sure.
You know who takes the time, and that's Ryan. He runs around all the time. He said it's getting harder to find now, but he runs around all the time looking for 10-cent chicken or all that. He'll go to the butcher.
All the expired stuff.
All the expired stuff, and that's the best. So when we had pigs, we used to pick up from a Mexican restaurant, and they didn't just serve Mexican food. So I would dig chunks and chunks of meat out of that. You know, when you're shoveling, you see that big chunk, and I'd feed that to my dogs. And I knew an old guy. He's probably not even alive anymore. That's all he fed his dogs was restaurant scraps. That's it.
Oh, I know. I mean, guess I should be careful, but I know guys back in the day that would go to the auction with the killer horses, and they do that type of thing and feed dogs that way. And
you could buy
their dogs were better off that way than feeding kibble.
In the 90s and 2000s, you could buy res horses for $25 at the auction.
That's 800 to 1,000 pounds right there.
Even if it's 500 pounds.
Yep. By the time everything's said and done.
Mm-hmm. You're paying $50, $25 for meat. You know, that's all you have to do. Smartest thing you do, you leave it in the trailer. Only feed my dogs cocaine and lions.
There you go.
There you go.
He's got to change that last word to monkeys.
That's more like.
Come on, Dustin. You got to help us out here.
Monkeys and rattlesnakes
and cocaine.
Yeah.
Yep. Especially down south there.
I mean, right now all they're eating is freaking chain time. I'll be a butthole.
That's because Casey's making them work.
Maybe some peanut butter because he's lonely.
Feeds cornmeal and oil porridge.
I know people that will supplement with, you know, they put a little vegetable oil, some cornmeal, some raw eggs, stuff like that when they're feeding kibble. If you don't have meat scraps and stuff, that definitely helps. I got a dog that definitely he holds weight a little harder, and I had a guy suggest to me you feed him pumpkin, and
I heard that
That
too.
helps their digestion.
it helps it, and he put some weight on feeding him some pumpkin for sure.
See, I'll feed a raw egg, shell and all, ever so often.
I've never done shell and all. I've always just cracked it over
Well,
their food.
I save all my shells and
I just
I crunch them up. And I'm
throw it
thinking
in
about
there.
yeah, I'm thinking about getting like just a coffee grinder, a little coffee grinder, so I can powder it up. And that's the calcium, right?
Well,
Yeah,
the shell's better if you bake it, kill all the bacteria on it,
I heard
Mm.
that too, but
and then grind it up. But they're gonna eat it straight out the chicken's ass anyway, so I'm gonna give
no,
it to
no,
them the
no, no,
way
no.
it is.
I have a little hole in my chicken coop they can get in and out, and that god dang stinker dog, and she's small enough, she was getting into it, so I had to make the hole smaller so stinker and a couple of dogs would sneak in there and eat my damn eggs out of my chicken coop.
Pablo's the same way.
My Labradors are real bad about it. My yellow lab, she'll sneak eggs all day long because we used to just leave the chicken door open.
But
Chicken
Pablo,
free.
he gets free range chicken eggs because I got a couple that'll just get out and go lay
Yeah.
under my barn where he sleeps.
And then, so we go over your equipment, right? You should check all your equipment while you're down instead of waiting to the last minute like we all do, or getting the camp, plugging it in, and your charger's broke, or your inverter's not working no more because you bought it at Harbor Freight and it's already been 3-4 years old. What else? Update your GPS collars. I don't think I didn't update mine for a long time, and I had I had the 220. I bought 100 from somebody, and it wouldn't work. I put the collars
Get
on.
them
I
out.
had
Broken down.
TT15s, and they didn't work. I hated it. I put it up, and then somebody, I think it was the dude from Oregon, said, "Have you updated it?" And like, what do you mean? So I updated it, and the thing worked great. And then I broke the antenna on it, but.
Casey's got jokes tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Black dogs need that rest. This is the stories I like to hear right here, too. My grandparents never bought dog food. They had 6 kids. They would feed them the leftovers every day. Healthy Australian shepherds that worked cows. And those are energy burning suckers.
Well, that's what they used to do here. They had, when they ground their cornmeal, whatever had weevils in it, they made dog bread with it.
Then it goes haywire. That's a question for Dustin. I've heard that people updated their shit, their Garmin's, and then it wouldn't work. But I think if you have a bad, I got one unit right now. I've updated it. I've redone everything. It's not picking up. I'm gonna have to send it in, and I dread
mine
sending it in.
keeps saying that I've got one that's not updated.
What do you got?
I've got a 300 and a 200, but I've got
No, what-
15s
what- oh.
and 25s. But it still says, and they're all up to date. I checked every one of them. Every time I open it up, it says I need to update one. Everything
My
works
dog is-
right, so
If you a game warden to get you for something, harassment of wildlife, eating turkey eggs. So get all your shit together on your off season. I'm bad about it. It's a week before. I'm like, man, I better get my. But I've been trying to do better at that and getting all my stuff together, getting my pups trained up. I mean, just getting your pups out, even just getting your dogs out, just to get out in the woods. I think.
Speaking of pups, I think Casey's going to have to file for child support against Sarah.
Oh,
having to put up with Jared this long.
I get that goes into planning for next season. Do you cull them or keep them? If Sarah cull them, or does Sarah keep them? You
I
know,
probably need to call all mine.
breeding plans. You know, the best time you can have pups in the spring. By the time fall comes around, you got 4, 5, 6 month old pups. Mine will be perfect. 3, 4, 5. They'll be 6 months old. So, get out there and find some new country. Find those roads. Go run them roads. If you're going to road hunt, off season's the best time to road hunt. Go find those roads. Go find those roads you don't know about, especially in a new area. You know. But what else? What else? What else do you do in the off season? Keep them dogs good, golden.
I do a lot of worming this time of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, those chewable pill things I gave her for ticks, and my old lady, she likes to read stuff. And they kill some of them worms too. It's just been a bad year. Someone asked me talked about screw worms, and we don't talk about screw worms. The government put those in to mark up the meat market.
Yeah.
Rendezvous, August 21st. If anybody wants to set up a vendor little slot or something, let me know. We got to be careful with that. We got Mike Leonard coming in to do his little thing. Let's go offshore fishing.
He don't eat fish, Jared.
Casey's a picky little booger, ain't he? Don't eat bear. Don't eat elk.
Don't eat fish.
Just chicken. Is that all he eats is chicken?
He'll eat a beefsteak.
Jamie, thanks for bringing that up. I need to work all my dogs again. Yep. Got to keep them dogs in shape. I think that's the number one thing is just get them out, run them, watch them, adjust their feed. You know, get your equipment ready. Keep your dogs happy. Train the dogs you need to train as far as manners, because they'll learn off of the older dogs if you got some older dogs. Yeah, I'm bringing my pup to the rendezvous. So,
I think mine gonna get to stay home.
You don't think you're bringing him? Mm-hmm. Is Bone Pile going to show up to the rendezvous? I'll bring some naughty ice for you. Squirrel hunting. If anybody has squirrel dogs in Arizona and you want to come show some kids how to get into dogs, that's the best segue to get young people. It's a squirrel camp, October 16th up here in the White Mountains. You can go to azwda.com. I have a friend that says he has 2 or 3 guys going to bring some squirrel dogs. Squirrel dogs just ain't super popular in Arizona that I know of. I don't know.
No, but you got a super one. You just got to drive 40 mile an hour and get her to bail out.
She will. I think I got, you know what she does? She knows how to roll my window down now, too.
She knew how to then. That's how she got out.
I know. She's getting better at it. So, me and Matson are working on putting a water tank on the dog box. We need to do a show, and I need to have people send me all your rigs, all your water bottles, or all your water containers. You can't all be cool like Undercover with automated, pressurized pump action. He has a good setup. Undercover has a good setup in that Colorado. He built that dog box.
I got a 35-gallon sprayer.
Yes, Rick. I think Sound of the Hounds has said something about tattooing dogs' ears. Am I correct there? Sound of the Hounds. Wayne. He said something about doing tattoos. I've done freeze branding, but you got to bring your freeze brand if you're scared to do it. There's enough people there that'll show you how to freeze brand. So, didn't you talk about, Wayne? Didn't you talk about bringing your tattoo gun and offering tattooing dogs' ears? Pretty sure he did. If not, I'll volunteer him for it. I'm a freeze brand guy. But if you had a little tiny tattoo, right? Did we lose Dustin? I think we lost Dustin.
I think we did.
Maybe he fell asleep. Like Derek did that one time. Yep. There you go, Rick. So if anybody at the Hound Rendezvous wants you need a little tiny tattoo in the ear where no one notices it too. That way when they steal it, they don't really pay attention. Rick, he's going to be in Arizona here in August. So he's going to learn what dry ground is about. So there ain't as many coons here as he has back in Oregon. Washington. Where's he from? Where are you from?
Washington.
It's Washington.
Washington.
Tattoo their lip on the inside. Yeah, how many people check that?
That used to be real popular back in the day.
How hard is it to do that? Have you seen it happen?
I've just seen it in their mouth. I've got a tattoo kit for goats.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one where you squeeze it and it kind of presses the holes and you ink it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a freeze brand. I love freeze brand. I got a freeze brand on my mules, which I got to find my freeze brand. I don't know where it is. I put it away so I wouldn't lose it.
Where'd you get it from, Chris?
Somewhere out of Texas. You just look up freeze brands. They're all over, and I think it costs $150. You send them. You draw it up how big you want it. You send it, and I do mine on my ribs. I don't do them on the ears. But someone said do it on the ears is kind of cool because if you got a dog that got stolen, it's hanging his head out of the box. You might see it.
Yeah.
So, lip is best.
Hell to do when you got white dogs though on the rib.
Yeah, my Cruella dog. There's nowhere I can get her on the ribs, but she's kind of a unique dog, anyways. You know, blue-eyed, half face is black. But
yeah.
Other than that, what else you got? Anything?
Water. Plenty of it. Y'all just start sending PVC pipe this away when we'll start pumping it to you.
Yep. So rendezvous August 21st. To buy the dinners is up right now, and you can buy a membership now. She set it up where you could buy a membership. So we will probably be selling some membership raffle tickets. If you're not a member of the AZWDA or the AWDA, Arizona Working Dog Alliance, it would behoove you to get on the azwda.com and become a member. And maybe you win something. And we're giving away, I want to say 10 free raffle tickets if you buy a dinner. How'd that be?
What's the dinner cost this year, Chris? Tell us.
I don't know. I didn't look at it. Honestly, I think it was going to go up. She was only charging like $35.
Yeah, and it's for a wonderful meal both times. Oh,
great meal. Plus, there's a guy there that makes these great tacos and tamales.
As long as you like bear meat and bear grease. Huh, Casey?
I got elk. I got beef. I'll bring beef for the whiny babies.
He won't eat it anyway because I told him you was cooking it with bear grease.
Oh, yeah. So, well, hope it's a good show. We lost.
But he don't eat nothing but protein cookies, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Bring plenty of protein cookies for Casey. Bring your family, bring your dogs. August 21st, the third annual one. you want to donate to the Arizona Working Dog Alliance, azwda.com. If you want to buy a dinner for the rendezvous, azwda.com, and they'll send you a link right over to Casey and Diane's their site to buy it. They handle everything on it. Great meal. If you want to get there early, help us set up. It's a help because we got a bunch of big tents. Big tents. October
And any
16th.
extra help is well worth it.
Oh yeah.
You take them up, put them up and take them down.
Yep.
Well
Squirrel hunt.
appreciated.
October 16th. azwda.com. I think I have a link to it. You got to get signed up. There's only 25 there spots for it. And they will have squirrel dogs there this year. That's kind of cool. If you guys need any rain, get hold of Jeremy. Go watch his videos on Louisiana hunting. Have you put any up lately?
I put one up last week, but I hadn't this week.
I haven't put nothing up.
I'm only about every 2 weeks here lately.
Mm-hmm. He come back? Nope, he's gone. He gone. All right, Jeremy, appreciate you coming on.
No problem.
2-hour show. I thought it'd only be about an hour and a half, but we kind of rabbit holed on bears the first part of the show.
You
guys can watch
bear race.
You guys can listen to this usually on Fridays. I usually have them out early in the morning. Last week I did not. Remember lag bolts and impact drivers makes the best tent stakes. Yep.
And remember the hound puppy giveaway.
Yep. American, go to Facebook, look up the American Hound Pup giveaway. Jeremy, you're gonna have to go night.
Yeah, I'm
making
tired.
me tired. The Great American. This is what happened last week, and I'm surprised Cody didn't jump on the night. The Great American Hound Pup giveaway. Cody King donated 10 TT25s to the top 10. South Fork Hound Company is donating 10 2-foot leashes. What is his email? And if you need some go to azwda.com. His phone number's on it. If you need some tree tie outs and you need some tie outs, are they expensive? They're higher than most, but they have a lifetime repair warranty. And I've been the test dummy. So I actually broke a couple. He got it figured out to where to crimp it. It's a process. But if you break it, send it to him, he fixes it. So go buy your $12 ones or your whatever $15 ones, and they'll break and you won't get them repaired. They're pretty nice. And he sells some good tie outs. So azwda.com for that too. Oh,
and no, Tim, I'm taller than the water is deep. So
start growing gills if it doesn't stop raining there. The Great American Hound giveaway. Evan Anderson donated $500 to him last week. And I donated a puppy. I possibly may have 2 if they need another one. And I'll probably throw in some AWDA hats for the top 10 winners too. So go to azwda.com and I'll have a link to their or how to donate to them. I think it's Venmo at Hound Pup.
I don't remember.
Hound Pup. So they're doing a good thing, man. Let's talk pedigrees next week. Man, no one talks pedigrees on the West. But I will let you talk pedigrees. If you come on the show, Ryan, I've already tried to get him on. He said no. Talk pedigrees. But I will let him go over my pedigrees. I don't know nothing about them. Other than that, Jeremy, thanks for coming on. Dustin, thanks for Irish goodbying us yet again. Thanks, Rick. That is a great show. It's getting better. It's getting better. And you guys can listen to this. You go to Spotify, go to your Apple podcast. I usually get them out by Friday. And I think that's why I'm getting less views on here live and more downloads, because most people will listen to this while they're driving, especially a 2-hour show. But by the time I trim this all out, it'll only be an hour and 50 minutes. No, Molly, you only get to talk about hounds on this show. Don't care about your labs.
I did talk about a lab, but
He did.
we were talking
Jeremy's
about
on your
crossing
side.
it into a hound, you know. Just
I
for
think
the
it'd be a
web
good
feet.
idea.
Just
That's
for the
what we
web
needed.
feet.
Yeah, just for the wet feet, so your dogs could swim to the coon tree.
Mine don't have a problem.
All right, Jeremy. Time to go now.
Adios.
Thank you, sir. Let me get out of here. All right, guys. azwda.com if you want to donate, become a member. Hound Rendezvous is August 21st, 23rd. We have a dinner. azwda.com. Buy your dinners. October 16th is a squirrel. It's a youth squirrel hunt, and it's up in the White Mountains. They feed you. You have mentors, people taking you out. If you've never done it, come on over. Other than that, I think that's all I got to say. Just remember, guys, keep your powder dry and stay safe out there.
Well, bye.